So once again, guys, good morning, welcome. It's nice to see you again. So yesterday we talked about compound nouns, right? Compound sentences, I'm sorry, you did it pretty good. And today we're going to talk about complex sentences, okay? So I'm going to share my screen. Let me see, my screen is this one. I'm going to close this, I don't need it anymore. Okay, bye-bye. Give me a moment. Dominica have joined. Okay, Shimo. I'm waiting for my computer, I'm sorry. Domenica, good morning. And Diego, welcome. How are you doing, guys?
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Mason.
Welcome. It's nice to see you. So, guys, as I mentioned it, today we're going to work on complex sentences. So it says you can write complex sentences by joining two sentences with words such as when, who, which, and that. Write these complex sentences as two separate sentences, these ones. And the first one is done as an example. It says, I first got interested in cookery one summer holiday when I was about 12. So, separated, it says, I first got interested in cookery one summer holiday. I was about 12. Diego, number two. Domenica, number two. Let's try. You have to divide this in two sentences.
I don't know, teacher.
Okay, let's try it. Let's read it. First of all, Domenica, léala, por favor.
I was staying with my aunt, who is Kim, Kim Cook.
Okay. So, we say we use this word to match two sentences. When, who, which, and that. So, I was staying with my aunt.
I
This is the
was
first sentence. Who is matching these two ideas? Is keen in cook. But we can't just say is keen in cook. So we need to use that or punto. He is keen cook. He is a keen cook. Está interesado en cocinar, right? Without using who. Okay. Diego, number three, please.
I was soon doing things we were I was soon doing things. It were more complicated.
Things. They were, because it's in plural,
Oh, they were more
they were
complicated.
more complicated. Okay, you're right. So far, so good. Anyway, we're going to see explanation. No worries. We're going just to try with this. Katie, good morning. Welcome. Nice to see you. How are you doing?
Good morning, mister.
It's nice to see you. Stephanie, number four.
I I went I went back to school after the summer. I decided to do cookery lessons.
Yes, you're right. So these are the two sentences. Okay. This when match these two ideas, right? Okay, Adrian, number five. We almost finished.
Friends come around to my house. I often cook them something.
So friends come around to my house. I often cook them something. Good job. Well, so far so good. Ay, sorry. So now, Domenica, again, let's try it. Number six.
Cooking is one of the most creative useful free time. Sería como activities.
Act. So this is one. And the other one is anyone can do.
Anyone can
Okay.
do.
So far for everyone, in sentences, we're saying that we can match two sentences to create a complex sentence using these relative pronouns when, who, which, and that. so far, right? And yesterday we talked about compound sentences. It was kind of similar, but we use conjunctions like and, but, or because to match two sentences, right? The difference is there's something called independent clause and dependent clause. Diego, do you know the difference? Diego, do you know the difference between dependent clause and independent clause?
Not really.
Okay, so dependent clause are sentences that are a complete idea. Just that sentences make sense. Solo esa oración tiene sentido. Independent clause are sentences que solitas, just that sentence doesn't make sense. No tienen sentido. Son como una parte, un acompañamiento de otra oración, ¿sí? So, we use compound sentences with two independent sentences, con dos ideas que por sí solas tienen sentido. I would like to learn fly. I think learning to fly is too expensive. Miren que yo simplemente puedo decir esto y tiene sentido. I would like to learn to fly. Me gustaría aprender a volar. Está bien, tiene sentido. ¿Sí o no? In an independent sentence. And I think learning to fly is too expensive. Yo creo que aprender a volar es muy caro. ¿Tiene sentido o se siente mucho? Tiene sentido, right? It makes sense. Tiene problema. So, we create compound sentences join to independent clause, dos oraciones o cláusulas independientes, with conjunction like with, but, and because. Hay más, pero pues por ahora solo trabajamos esto con el libro, ¿cierto? And, but, and because. But in complete sentences, we match a independent clause and a dependent clause, right? So, for example, I was staying by my aunt. Independent o dependent clause. ¿Esto será dependiente de algo o es esto? I was staying with my aunt.
Independent.
Independent, it makes sense.
Independent.
Ajá, he's a keen cook, interesado en comida. Él está interesado en la comida. Como que tiene sentido, sí, no está mal, pero no está del todo completo. I was soon doing things. Estaba haciendo cosas. There were more complicated. Si yo digo, estaba haciendo cosas, tiene sentido. Se podría completar, pero tiene sentido. Yo estaba haciendo cosas, ¿cierto? They were more complicated. Si yo digo, estos eran más complicadas, tiene menos sentido. Hace menos sentido. Se siente más raro. Falta en contexto, right? So, these are independent. These are dependent clause. Okay? So, okay, let's move.
Mister, yo no entiendo en realidad. A ver, the compound sentences I use but and because. But the complex sentences, what I use? No, no entiendo qué es lo que tengo que usar. El de arriba sí entiendo.
Okay, we use relative pronouns, pronombres relativos. Los pronombres relativos son estos: when, who, which, and that.
Pronombres relativos. ¿Y eso
Ajá.
ya vimos?
No, eso se supone que lo vieron en B1, de hecho, finalizando B1. Relative
Ujú.
pronouns. But no
No,
worries, I have an
no,
expert.
no recuerdo haber visto esto.
Okay, let's check. Anyway, no worries. So, in other words, we use these words. Digamos que utilizamos pues estas palabras para que no nos enredemos con el término pronombres relativos, relative pronouns. When, who, which, and that. ¿Sí? Lo importante acá es cómo utilizar estas palabras para unir the independent clause with a dependent clause. So, I'm going to move for a while. Let me see. I have two files. Okay. So, as I mentioned it, we use these relative pronouns to match two clauses, right? Give me a moment. Okay, great. So we have who. When do we use who? Function refers to people, can act as a subject or object of the dependent clause. O sea, funciona cuando nos vamos a referir a alguien, utilizamos who. ¿Sí? Cuando las dos ideas que queremos unir, estamos hablando de alguien, como por ejemplo, acá cuando hablaba del tío, miren que en vez de, instead of say he or my uncle, it says who. So, I was staying with my aunt. Yo me estaba quedando con mi tío. Who, quién, is a keen cook. Está interesado o le gusta la cocina, ¿sí? Estoy hablando de alguien. So, I use who, porque habla de alguien. Then we have which. Which refers to thing, concept, or animals. O sea, se refiere a cosas que no sean personas. Primarily introduce not essential information. Requires comma. No introduce información esencial. Requiere coma. ¿Sí? También podríamos decir, independent clauses are essential information. Es la información esencial, la importante. No defining o no define independent clauses son las que nos agregan extra information. No es necesario, pero nos completa más la idea, pero no es obligatorio tenerla. So, the team proposal which outlined 5 phases was accepted yesterday. El equipo propuso cuáles de las 5 líneas fueron aceptadas ayer. So, which refers to a thing, to a something. That is special. Refers to people or things. Or concepts. Restrict meaning essential information, no commas allowed. So, we use who for people, which for thing, and that for both. Could be people or thing. But in this case, it's mean to essential information. Tiene que ser información esencial. No es una información que simplemente nos complete la idea, sino que tiene que ser información que no pueda faltar. The cybersecurity report that we submit last Friday identified 3 vulnerabilities. Entonces, el reporte de ciberseguridad que está haciendo caso a está refiriéndose a una cosa, a este reporte, enviamos o subimos el viernes pasado, identificó 3 vulnerabilidades. Esto es información esencial. El reporte de ciberseguridad. ¿Qué reporte? ¿Cuál de todos? El que subimos o enviamos el viernes pasado, ¿cierto? Y ese identificó 3 vulnerabilidades. Finally, we have when. When refers to time. So, refers to a specific time, date, period, season, or historical area. Let's talk about time. I will always remember the afternoon when, with success, deploy our first build. Siempre recordaré la tarde cuando logramos construir nuestro primer edificio, ¿cierto? When refers to a time. Time puede ser una hora, un mes, un periodo, una fecha, una estación, ¿ok? So far, do you have any question? It's kind of clear? Okay. So, I have some exercises. But before I start with the exercises, I have a video as well. So let's check the video, okay? Let's see the video, guys. If you have any question, let me know, please. Let me see, give me a moment. I'm going to play the video. It's here. To presenting. Going to present again.
Hello, grammarians. Hello, Rosie. Hi, Paige.
Give me a moment. Okay, now you're watching.
So in this video, we're going to talk about complex sentences. We've talked in another video about simple and compound sentences. So that is like one independent clause or two independent clauses. And with a complex sentence, we're going to introduce something called a dependent clause. So a sentence needs at least one independent clause.
So remember, the difference between compound sentences and complex sentences is in compound sentences, we join or we match two independent sentences. Unimos dos oraciones que son independientes, entre ellas son autosuficientes. But in complex sentences, we match a independent sentences and a dependent sentences. Listo, esa es la diferencia.
Function as a sentence. But with complex, we're going to add this dependent clause. So, Rosie, what's an example of a complex sentence? When we buy his birthday cake, we have to make sure it's lemon. So this sentence, when we buy his birthday cake, we have to make sure it's lemon, is made up of two clauses, and I've written them in different colors here. So
notice,
the
two
second
clauses.
one-
There's two clauses in different colors. The blue one and the pink one.
stand on its own as a sentence. We could just say, we have to make sure it's lemon.
It functions as an independent clause in its own sentence. We have some information that might be missing from this sentence because we don't necessarily know what its is, but we do have all the components of an independent clause here. We've got a subject, we, and a verb, have to, and well, we have multiple verbs.
Yeah, got a lot of Have to make sure.
So the sentence is relying on some information that's not provided, but it does still stand as its own sentence.
Right, like we could have a sentence before it that's like, we're gonna go buy a birthday cake. We have to make sure it's lemon, right? Those can be two separate sentences. In this case, we have this other clause, this what's called a dependent clause. We can't just say when we buy his birthday cake as a sentence. That doesn't.
So notice, she's saying that we can say when we buy his birthday cake. It sounds incomplete. It's missing context, right? We can use just this, the blue part, as a sentence. This is a dependent sentence, right? And this is an independent. We have to make sure it's lemon. That sounds good or complete enough. But in this case, when we say when we bought his birthday cake, what is missing something, right? It's missing context or it's missing information. So this is a dependent clause or dependent sentence, and this is a independent. It's complete enough.
Really
Give me a moment.
stand on its own. It doesn't convey the information that a sentence needs to convey. So we could have an independent clause or a sentence that's just we buy his birthday cake. It's kind of a weird construction. I don't know that I would say that. You could maybe say we are buying his birthday cake, right? But we buy his birthday cake still works as a sentence. It has a subject, we, and a verb, buy, and it expresses a complete idea. It's an action that's happening and it tells you who's doing it. But we add this thing called a subordinating conjunction. That's this word when here. And that makes this into a dependent clause. It can't be a sentence by itself. So it depends on the later clause. We have to make sure it's lemon to be part of a sentence. Okay, so Rosie, what's another example of a complex sentence?
Although our tent was zipped up, the sound of hyenas.
In this case, here using another relative clause, in this case, although. We won't work on although, nosotros no vamos a trabajar although, but just for this example, okay, and for the
The
video.
distance still frightened us.
So, what is the meaning of tent? First, let's understand the sentence. What is the meaning of tent?
La tienda de campaña.
Exactly,
Ajá.
zip it up,
Estaba cerrada.
cerrada. So, the sound of the hyenas. What is the meaning of hyenas?
¿Quién es un animal?
Hyenas is the animal, okay. In the distance, still frightened us.
Todavía nos asustaba.
Ajá, nos atemorizaba. Okay, great.
So again, this sentence starts with a dependent clause. Although our tent was zipped up. This would be independent if it said our tent was zipped up. But again, we have this subordinating conjunction, although, at the beginning. And there's kind of a whole bunch of different subordinating conjunctions. They're sort of just something that you need to remember. But essentially, their job is to connect clauses in sentences, but also make things into dependent clauses.
One other thing, we're showing you two sentences where the dependent clause is coming before the independent clause, but that's not necessarily always going to be the case. Like, for example, we could have said, the sound of hyenas in the distance frightened us, even though our tent was zipped up.
Right. That would still be a complex sentence. It would be an independent clause and a dependent clause, but just in a different order. They don't have to be in this order that we've.
So notice, they are saying that it doesn't, it hasn't be at the beginning, it could be in the middle. So although our tent was zipped up, or the sound of the hyenas in the distance still frightening us, although our tent was zipped up. So it could go at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence, okay?
That we've done twice. Okay, so Rosie, what if I do something like this? Like, when we buy his birthday cake, we have to make sure it's lemon because it's his favorite. I think because it's his favorite is a dependent clause, right?
That's right. And this sentence still completely works as a complex sentence because you still just have this one independent clause. We have to make sure it's lemon. But the thing about complex sentences is you can add more than one dependent clause. if you want, and it's still considered a complex sentence.
Okay,
So also notice that we can add more than one independent clause in complex sentences. More than one
Has to,
independent
sure.
clause. So if we say because is his favorite, it sounds uncompleted, is missing something, right? It will just say this because it's his favorite. It sounds incomplete. It's an independent clause, is missing something. So we use because to match this information with the independent clause. We have to make sure it's lemon because it's his favorite. Okay, so this is the independent, the pink one, and dependent, the blue one, because it's his favorite.
independent clause, but I guess as many dependent clauses as you want.
Yeah, you can go crazy.
Okay, cool. So I think that's complex sentences. It's an independent clause that can be a sentence by itself, and one or more dependent clauses, which can't be sentences by themselves, all put together in one big sentence. Does that sound right, Rosie?
Sounds good to me, Paige.
Cool.
Okay, so do you have any question? Do you have any question? Would you like to try to practice? Let's practice in that way. I think if you have any question, you can tell me, okay? You're going to realize about it. You're taking notes of these examples.
Yes, mister.
No worries.
Give me a one.
No worries, Katie. Go ahead. So remember, the pink one is the independent, the pink one, and the blue one is the dependent. So, in other words, independent works alone, could work alone, or dependent and dependent has to be with a dependent sentence or clause. O sea, las dependent pueden ir solitas y las independent sí tienen que ir unidas a otra, ¿cierto? No quedan solitas. For example, if we say, the sound of the hyenas in the distance is frightening us, it makes sense, ¿cierto? Se escucha bien, el sonido de las hienas en la distancia aún no nos ha asustado, ¿cierto? Pero si yo digo, although our tent was zipped up, aunque nuestra tienda estaba cerrada, ¿qué? ¿Cómo se escucha?
Le falta algo.
Le falta algo. So it's a dependent. Esta frase depende de algo más. Mientras que esta no depende de nada. Esta simplemente le está dando extra information, ¿cierto? Non-essential information, no es información esencial. Pero en este caso, esta sí la es. Puede funcionar solita y esta es más como un complemento de esta. Y ella no puede funcionar sin ella. It's clear in that way. It's clearer. Okay. And we're going to practice. It's not that hard, no worries. No es tan difícil. Take your time and when you finish, let me know, okay? Sí. Guys, could you look at the camera for a while, please? Pues mira un momentito la cámara. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to send this. Everyone is here. You're wonderful.
I finished, mister.
Okay, thank you. Guys, someone else is missing. Stephanie, did you finish? Domenica, Adrian? Yes? Okay, guys. So let's come back to the Paris. Thank you so much. So I'm going to share my screen again right now. Let me see. Okay, here we are. So now let's practice. Let's see if we really understood. So it says complex sentence synthesis. Combine the two statements into a single elegant complex sentence using the relative pronouns or adverb in the brackets. Pay close attention to define versus not defining punctuation guidelines. Okay, the lead architect designed the eco-friendly skyscrapers. She has won several international sustainability awards. So, Diego, let's try it with who? I think Diego is having some internet issues. Diego, could you try it?
Hello, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I do. I can.
I was doing a question. If we put the word in any part of the sentence, or it is necessary to be only like between the two sentences.
You can use it at the beginning or in the middle.
Mm, yes, because I think it's the lead architect who has won several international sustainability.
Give me a moment.
I can read. Designed, designed the eco-friendly
Okay.
skyscraper.
Thank you. Again, the lead
The
architect,
lead
right?
architect
Who?
who has won several international sustainability awards.
Sustainability. It's a long word. Sustainability award. What else?
Designed the eco-friendly skyscraper.
Design the eco-friendly sky. What is the meaning of skyscraper?
Rascacielos.
Rascacielos. Well done, Diego. Good job. Thank you. Katie, the next one. Let's try it. Take your time if you need to think about it. No worries. It says, international audit exposed unexpected financial discrepancies. It forced the execute committee to revise the quarterly budget.
I can share it, but with
Which?
the internal audit spot explain final discrete, which forced the executive committee to revise the quarterly budget.
Okay, so we say instead of it, we use which, right? And comma. Comma. The international audit exposed unexpected financial discrepancies, comma, which, instead of with, forced the executive committee
Forced
to
the
revise the
executive
quarterly
committee to
budget. El cual, ¿cierto? This it refers to the international audit, right? And this which match these two ideas. Add information. El cual force, right? Executive commit to revise, whatever. Okay, Katie, well done. Great job.
revise the quarterly budget.
Great. Domenica, next one.
The research team finally got there. The specific data models. The data models were essential for computing the climate change thesis.
Thesis. So what do you think?
the data models that were essential. Right?
Let me see. It says the data model were essential. Could you repeat it, Domenica?
The data model that were essential.
What else? Continue. Complete your idea. I'm going to change my question. What is the independent clause and what is the dependent clause? We have two clauses, right? This one and this one. What is independent and what is dependent? So, Dominic, it sounds good as I say. The data models were essential for completing the climate change thesis. But which data models? The research team finally guarded the specific data models. Which is the independent and what is the dependent?
Dependent. Yeah. Dependent is the first.
No, that's the independent. The research team, el equipo de investigadores, finally guard the specific data model. Finalmente reunió los modelos de data específicos. Hasta ahí suena bien, ¿cierto? Suena completo. Ahora vamos por aparte con la otra. The data models were essential for completing the climate change thesis. Suena bien, pero ¿qué modelos de data o qué data estamos hablando? ¿De cuál? Y acá ya estamos mencionando que es la data que los investigadores reunieron, ¿cierto? Entonces, esta partecita lo que está haciendo es agregar información a esta, ¿sí? Esta depende de esta. Entonces, para que no se complique mucho, simplemente podríamos decir, the research team finally got the specific data models that were essential for completing the climate change thesis. ¿Sí? This that replace a thing. What thing? The data models. Okay? So,
Mister, o sea, solo es de reemplazar el sustantivo, por decirlo así, por el with, who, that, así, eso es.
in
Porque tampoco
somehow,
no
yes.
lo entiendo muy bien cómo es, o sea, no
De una
entiendo.
manera muy simplificada, sí, esta estaría funcionando como una especie de sujeto. Entonces dice, recuerden que estos son relative pronouns. Los pronombres los utilizamos para reemplazar
Los
sujetos,
nombres,
los sujetos de la oración.
los,
Exactamente. Entonces dice que edad puede reemplazar o personas o cosas, ¿cierto? ¿Y la data qué es?
una cosa.
Una cosa. Entonces estaría reemplazando the data models, ¿sí? Todo
Y,
esto sería el sujeto.
y si digo
Could be possible as well. También puede ser.
which were
Pero
essential
which
for completing. ¿Y cómo sé cuál es una y cuál es la otra?
dice,
¿Cómo
which,
defino si es
bueno, objetos, ¿cierto? Cosas, which. Add not essential data using comas. Agrega información no esencial utilizando
no
comas.
essential?
Y that dice, never precede by comma. Nunca utilizamos coma. Pero en este caso podríamos utilizar cualquiera de los dos, ¿sí? Which or that. No hay problema. Porque esto es información no era esencial. Simplemente nos está completando un poco más la idea. Pero pues para el ejercicio nos pidamos que utilizaran that. My internet is... Guys, do you hear me? Katie, sorry, I have some internet issues. So, we can use that or which, but in this case we were asked to use that. It's just because. Esta vez nos pidieron por el ejercicio mismo, nos pide utilizar that, pero podemos utilizar that or which. ¿Ok? Katie, it's okay. Yes? Okay, thank you. Domenica,
Yes, mister, thank you.
do you got it? Yes, for sure? Okay, thank you, Domenica. Stephanie, let's try it.
Um, the legal department um finally the international
Mhm.
sorry
No worries. Keep going.
the international mayor
Merge.
mayor mayors when um, um when the stock price spiked spiked uh, dramatically at that uh, exact moment.
Okay, thank you. It's good. You're right, Stephanie. Or we can say when the legal department finalized the international measures, comma, the stock prices spike dramatically at that exact moment, or when, at the beginning or in the middle, both are possible. Okay? Okay. So now let's work on the book. I think exercises in the book are easier to work and understand. So it says, Adrian, join these sentences using when, who, which, and that. I was 13. I started running seriously.
I was 13 when I started running seriously.
When I was 13, comma, I started running seriously. It's easy. Domenica, let's try with one of these one.
My who? My who can athlete my
My
aunt.
encourage me,
¿Cómo se pronuncia eso? Encourage,
encourage
encouraging,
me.
encourage, can athlete.
Could you repeat it louder? Sorry, can't understand. No puedo escucharle bien.
My aunt who
Encourage.
encourage encourage me. Mm,
So when,
um,
who, which, or that?
mm, mm,
Who, because it's a person. My
mm,
aunt encouraged me, comma. Who is, this is verb to be, a keen athlete. ¿Sí? Acá estamos diciendo quién. Mi tío me motivó. ¿Cuál tío? El que o quién es un atleta o está interesado en el atletismo. ¿Sí? Ok. Dominica, no worries. We can practice more. Katie, number 3.
I go running most day when have finished school and done my homework.
Yes, you're right. Great. Diego, number 4.
Running is a sport that gets you really fit.
Running is a sport that running gets you really fit.
Ru- Running is a sport that gets you really fit.
Yes. Running is a sport that gets you really fit. Yes. Okay, well done. Or which get you really fit. Both are possible, right? That or which, as you prefer. Okay, guys. So we're going to continue practicing. Give me a moment. Let's try with an easier exercise. Let me look for. So. Open sentences practice. Let's see. Give me a moment. So far, guys, do you have any question? No questions so far? Let me see something. If we can work on easier exercises. Oh my gosh. These topics are not easy to find.
Mister, I don't have the second sentence.
What do you mean?
My aunt encouraged me. My aunt's aquí ni o sea, la trato de. ¿Cómo fue? ¿Cómo era que quedaba? Porque no lo entiendo. Dice, mi tía que me animó,
Ajá. We're
pero no
talking
le
about,
encuentro sentido a lo que.
yes, yes. We're talking about someone, about who. ¿De quién estamos hablando? I'm going to share my screen again. Give me a moment. So, we're talking
De la
about,
tía.
So, to replace a person, we use, para personas utilizamos, sea.
Who?
Who. ¿Por qué? Estamos refiriéndonos o estamos dando unas características a esa tía. ¿Qué tía? La que es que interesada o le gusta el atletismo.
Atleta.
Ajá. My
El
aunt encouraged
atletismo.
me. Who, o la que is keen athlete, la que está interesada en el atletismo, ¿sí? Mi tía, esta tía, la que está específicamente esta, la que está interesada en el atletismo, ¿cierto? Esta is an independent sentence o clause. Mi tía me motivó. Se escucha bien, ¿cierto?
Esa es
Pero
la. ¿Depende o independe?
independent. Independent. Mi tía me motivó. Listo. Ahí está bien. Mi tía me motivó. Pero yo quiero agregar extra information. ¿Cuál tía? La que está interesada en el atletismo. ¿Sí? La que está interesada en el atletismo. Estoy siendo más específico con cuál fue la tía que me motivó. La que está interesada en atletismo. Do you notice the difference? Katie.
Más o menos.
Kind of. Okay. No,
Yes, mister.
no worries. Let's continue practice. Here we have some exercises. Let me see. So it's similar. It says complete each complete sentences by writing the most appropriate relative marker, who, which, that, or when, in the spaces provided. So, Katie, the first one. The analyst map out the market trajectory was nominated for an industry award.
That. The analyst that mapped. The
That,
analyst that mapped out of the market project
yes,
was nominated for Industrial Award.
yes, thank you. Well done. Stephanie, number 2.
Do you recall the exact time span? When?
When we're talking about time, you're right. When the database updated began to fail. Adrian, number 3.
International marketing budget, which was cut by 20%, will
Exactly.
impact our Q4 reach.
Which or that was cut by 20% will impact our Q4 reach. Thank you. Diego, number 4.
Who can configure our multi-region AWS setup? Who?
Yes, you're right. Can configure our multiple regional AWS setup. Great. Domenica, number 5. Let's try.
The legal disclosure,
Mhm.
disclosure that you negotiate. I don't know the pronunciation. This
You-
word in the agreement protect for
you're,
intellectual property.
you're right.
That
That. Well done. Katie, number 6, please.
Winter is the seasonal period when customer server volume general reach in annual peak.
Great. You're right. Stephanie, number 7.
Um, any field agent
Agent.
agents who
Who? We're talking about someone.
submit their complaints later will face administrative
Review.
review.
Thank you. Adrian, number 8.
The vintage grandfather clock that had functioned flawlessly for decades stopped today at noon.
Great. Diego, number 9.
The exact moment when the product launched, millions of users flooded the staging platform.
Okay. Katie, number 10.
The senior executive
No. 10. That's
who
11.
mentored me through
8.
10.
10. Yes, please.
I thinking a lightweight web application that translate spoken audio.
Audio fields into clean markdown. Thank you. Adrian, number 11.
The senior executive who
Who? Exactly.
mentored me through my first management role has retired.
Great. Stephanie, number 12.
The functional agile framework which
Which
we
piloted
piloted last summer greatly reduce
reduce.
reduce. Oh my god.
No, no
Reduce
worries. I'm pretty
delivery.
curious.
Yes.
I will be more careful with this kind of sentences and words to not make it that hard. Domenica, 13.
The historians study the early digital era when basic internet access was considered a premium luxury.
When basic internet access was considered a premium luxury. Okay. Diego, number 14. You're on fire. You're doing pretty good so far.
The mountain passage mm, the
Mountain.
mountain passage that leads directly to the observation post is blocked by winter snow.
You're right. Finally, Katie.
The regional volunteers who restore the located wetland habitat were honored at the gala.
Okay, you're doing pretty good. So far, so good. So now we have another kind of exercise. They say synthesize each pair of simple sentences in one cohesive complete sentence. Integrated the relative marker indicated in parentheses, applying the correct comma placement where needed. So, Adrian, the first one, please. With who?
The product designer who overhauled our entire mobile application interface is incredibly creative.
The product designer
Who
who incredibly
overhauled
creative. Again,
overhauled our entire mobile application interface is incredibly creative.
again, please. I couldn't understand. Again, Adrian, sorry.
The product designer who overhauled our entire mobile application interface is incredibly creative.
Okay, you're right. Well done. Exactly. Thank you. Katie, number 2. Let's start with number 2.
The corporate headquarters is undergoing extended retrofitting, which was constructed but no, which was constructed but in 1978.
So, what do you think?
I changed it for which
Mira, so, the corporate headquarters, ¿cuáles? ¿Cuáles de estos? Vamos a ser más específicos. Sería como la oficina central, el cuartel, ¿sí? Headquarters. ¿Cuáles específicamente?
undergoing extended retrofit.
No. Esto es lo que le está pasando a estos. Pero ¿cuáles de estos específicamente estamos hablando?
Constructed by the 1970.
Which was constructed back in 1978 is undergoing extensive retrofitting. ¿Ok?
O sea, ¿cómo quedaría la oración? Eso es lo que no entiendo. O sea, porque
Ok.
también vi que Diego puso adelante, atrás, las mezcló. Eso es lo que no entiendo. Porque según yo simplemente era reemplazar el it por el which.
In some cases, yes. Hay partes en que sí, pero hay partes en que no. Por ejemplo, acá estamos hablando digamos, de las oficinas
El cual,
principales,
ya.
¿cierto?
Ujú.
Pero ¿cuáles exactamente? Ahí es donde utilizamos el which para unir esa extra información. ¿Cuáles exactamente? Para ser más específicos, estas, las que fueron construidas en 1978, ¿cierto? Entonces, the corporate headquarters, which
Which
was
was
constructed.
constructed.
Ajá. Ahora, ¿qué les
De
está
ahí.
pasando? Les está pasando esto. Is undergoing extensive retrofitting. Sí, ahora como que se están empezando como a caer.
O sea,
Sí.
tengo que reestructurar la oración.
Ajá, exacto. Si simplemente nos dan el espacio en blanco, es mucho más fácil. Simplemente decimos cuál usar. Pero cuando tenemos que usar las dos oraciones, tenemos que buscarles el sentido. ¿Cómo puedo hacer que las dos se combinen y que quede
Mm,
con sentido? Listo, Katie. It's clear.
mm.
Okay, Domenica, let's start with number 3. Guys, tomorrow we can continue practices
Ok,
if
ok,
needed.
listo.
So, Domenica, I'm going to help you. There comes a critical point in every contract negotiation. You must confidently state your walkaway terms.
There comes a critical point in every contract negotiation when you must confident state your walk away terms. Negotiation when you must.
When you must. There come a critical point in every contract negotiation. When you must confidently state your walkaway terms. It sounds better at the beginning. Actually, here sound better at the beginning. Acá suena mejor. Where there comes a critical point in every contract negotiation, cuando llega un punto crítico o llegas a un punto crítico en un contrato de negociación, coma, you must confidently state your walkaway terms. ¿Sí? Cuando suceda esto, haces esto. Entonces, primero, when, at the beginning. It sounds better. Okay? Okay, guys, we're going to stop here, but tomorrow I will bring more exercises to practice, okay? To continue practice a little bit more. So no worries. I will look for easier exercises, easier to understand with a more accessible vocabulary, okay? Or different contexts. So guys, I'm going to take the last screenshot. If you have any question, we can talk about that tomorrow We're going to continue practicing and then we continue working on the book, okay? So thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you for participating. Well done and see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. See you. Have a nice day.
Bye, mister.
Bye.